Okay. Do you want me to just go through it all one time?
Yeah, sounds great. Perfect.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to point?
Start again. No.
Okay.
Okay. So,
You want me to call them out?
no, just leave it here. Okay, here we go. Cerebrum is the entire top section. Okay? Then you have the frontal lobe, you have the parietal lobe, and you have the temporal lobe, the occipital lobe, and then you have the central solstice, which goes through the middle here, this long, deep division. On either side of the central solstice, you have the primary sensory cortex and the primary motor cortex. On either side of those primaries, you have the somatic motor association area and the somatic sensory association area. Now, you also have your lateral solstice. Here's your lateral solstice. I don't know how to say it.
Sulcus.
Yeah, thank you. And your transverse cerebral fissure is going to be this one here. Okay? Your longitudinal fissure is going to be the one that goes in between the two hemispheres. Okay? Primary visual cortex is going to be this green area and yellow area back here. Your primary sensory cortex, we already talked about, is this, your primary sensory cortex. Sorry. Your primary auditory cortex is going to be this piece right here, and your auditory sense associated area is this area right in here. Okay? Your cerebellum is the walnut, and then when you turn it sideways, you can see your pons, which comes all the way through to here, and you've got your medulla oblongata, and on the bottom of the medulla oblongata is your spinal cord. Okay? Then you get into your thalamus and your hypothalamus, excuse me. Then you have your corpus callosum. Your fornix is this piece right here. And then you have your septum pellucidum, which is this thin fiber here that is on the outside of your lateral, what's on the lateral? Ventricles. Lateral ventricles. Okay. Now your third ventricle is all this area here that drains into the fourth ventricle. Remember that all your ventricles are filled with CSF, which is
Cerebral spinal fluid.
Thank you. Okay. Then you go into your optic nerve, which would be this piece coming in. And if you saw both pieces, one would come this way, one would come that way. Your optic chiasm is where they cross. It's this little section in here. So if you had one coming this way, you would have a cross, and that would be your chiasm. Your olfactory bulb is this right here. And your olfactory tract is the tract that it follows down into your brain. Okay, your infundibulum would be a little tiny thing that would come out of here, and I don't think that it's underneath your pituitary gland. If we look at this one, you can kind of see where the infundibulum would be. This is your pituitary gland. Remember that this is your optic nerve, and where the two optic nerves cross is your optic chiasm. Okay? This is your chiasm. And we got everything else.
Okay, here.